Good evening. We're going to open this meeting November 12, 2024 at 6:30 p.m. We are here in room 4. There's 3 of us tonight. Our other member, Mr. Savory Moore, is enjoying himself so much in Canada that he has taken another week.
Good for him.
I know, it's great for him.
La-di-da.
Yeah, la-di-da. The first part of the discussion was going to be inviting North Carver Chair, which was Bob Belbin, to discuss different things. However, Bob is not here with us at this time tonight. We did receive something from Tom Bott that says he was not going to attend the meeting tonight. That was Tom Bott. He had a finance committee and a capital planning meeting. He said, we don't know why, so there won't be anything new to report about the grant tonight. We are looking at setting up an opportunity to meet with the grant folks next week. The ball is in Glenn Cannon's hands, and he's attached a couple of emails regarding the matter for our attention, which are a couple of the emails, the correspondence that went back and forth about that. So we'll wait for that to happen. I was curious about the grant as to why it was not awarded, simply because that oftentimes when you understand what went wrong, you make things better and you look at the correct way to make the posting. So as far as number 1, the timeline, we're not going to be able to discuss that. The update on the water, on the project for the Green Business Park, we're not going to be able to discuss that. There was something I wanted, and I made sure you all had it, is the Department of Revenue did an audit in 2014 on the North Carver Water District. And I had it, and I was asked for it, and I was given it. And I thought it was interesting. I don't know if you have a chance to read it. You'll see that the town of Carver sometimes was lax in probably 2013, 2012. Maybe they didn't understand it, but then they actually went out and these reimbursements and so forth and so on. Can't really discuss too much about it. I just hope you do read it. And I did ask Bob doing another one of these audits, and that would be from current to the 2014, which would meet that, to give all of us in our town to understanding of the better understanding of the North Carver Water District in 2006 and so forth. So
It was confusing to say the least.
yeah. So we can't really ask those questions. So let's set that aside. The number 2 thing is the vacancy posted on the Carver website. I did ask Jill to repost that, which she did do. And I asked her to post it as position open until filled, and she did do that also. So I don't know if you had a chance to look at that, but I have a sample here just to show you. This is what it looks like on the website.
Yep.
Yep. See, we now have extended that, because it had a date before, like
Exactly.
September or something like that.
Yeah, sure.
Any specifics on that you're looking for that can be mentioned online for anybody watching that we're looking for?
Well, you should have an understanding of how to read blueprints and something about real estate, finances as well. That all helps. And other than that, we'd love to entertain somebody to come forward and work with us. We'd love to do that.
I think anybody who would be even just interested in serving the town would be probably just fine. But we could probably, between all of us, help them out with specific
Oh,
stuff.
absolutely.
But I think it's just somebody who would be interested in helping out
That's
the
right.
town.
So we're looking for somebody to apply. Okay, the next thing is the Shirtlift Family Inheritance Award. what happened last week, Mrs. Tusha, one of the properties that was on that, all those properties that were there, one of the properties, her family's last name is Shirtliff, and they also lived on their property a long time ago. And there was a small piece of land that was kind of in there and forgotten. And during the closing, Route 44, George McLaughlin, they realized when they were closing, and they did the investigation, that that particular property was still there, a little square, and it was like in the middle. And so what we did is contact the lawyer, our lawyer, Kathleen O'Donnell, and with that, they decided that the inheritance was worth about $3,000. And to be honest with you, it was deposited in our account. I have to go back and look to bring me back to the front. But I did send a letter to Kathleen O'Donnell and asked her, please give me a call. We need to discuss this. And
Right.
what's wrong is her family, she and about 3 or 4 of her siblings who would be inheriting this, did nothing with the paperwork that our attorney sent her. Now, one would say, gee, I asked her, did anybody call? And I'm sure there was a return, and she said, no, we really didn't. So I said, fine, let me take it on, because we thought it was all clear. We thought everybody was given their apportionment of the, but that didn't happen. So tomorrow I'll call Kathleen O'Donnell and get that squared away. The next thing is the treasurer's report. And that's something that I have been taking care of, because we don't really have a treasurer, which is fine. If you look at that treasurer's report, you'll see that really ends in September. Actually, October, we were given interest. So the bottom line, if you're there, has October 31st. Checking account has $803.99. The savings account has $48,373.19. And the urban renewal plan has $1,280.58. Somewhere in the I believe in the money market RDA savings account, Pat Maha transferred what I was telling you, that Shirtliff inheritance, he put that money in there, so I have to go back to the previous couple years ago and look at it and find out. You know.
So I'm sure it didn't sit in the other two accounts.
Yeah, I'm sure it's
Right.
there. If there's no questions, I'll entertain a motion to accept the treasurer's report.
Motion.
A second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 So this would technically be through September 31st, September 30th?
No, it's December 31st.
October 31st?
I'm
October
sorry,
31st.
October 31st.
Okay.
October 31st. Do you have a copy of that?
Yes, I do.
Okay, fine. Okay, the next thing here is, I'm asking that we ask you to recommend a meeting date to invite Route 44 LLC to update our committee, current to future. Now, based on the fact that everybody had an interest, including George, and Route 44 in the award, it didn't happen, so that money's not available. But he was on, George was on, I believe, help me here, so, yeah, he was on last Wednesday.
November 6th,
Bob, North Carver Water District had a meeting, and they had him zoom in, George zoom in.
Mm-hmm.
Although he was very sick with COVID, his son is the one that came, and he was on a phone conversation with him. And they talked back and forth, and Bob couldn't assure him anything, but he did say that the North Carver Water District is willing to work with them to give them water. I made some notes, let me just look at that quick note I had here. The North Carver Water District needs to be able to understand and give Route 44 a better understanding and long-range goals. Bob said they wanted to get the system back up and running. So that's kind of positive, I would tell you, based on that. And then the other note that I think I wanted to say is, maybe not.
So in the interest of saving time in this procedure, is there a way for us to, is that meeting posted that was with Bob Belvin? Can you find that
Yes,
online?
please watch.
So
That would be last Wednesday, the 9th, I believe,
The 6th.
the 6th. If you go to Area 58, you go YouTube /Area 58 /Carver, it'll bring up, easier than that, right? Go to the town website
Yeah,
page.
usually there's a link in there.
Yeah, go to the town website page, go to the North Carver Water District page, right? In the on the left-hand column, there's a column, and it has all of somebody puts all of these, and you just click on that, and you'll find the more current
So I was
ones.
gonna say for a light item here, maybe we could hyperlink somehow to that meeting or to that video of that. And then we don't have to have an update, cause then we can just post for your light item here, number 4.
Yep.
Hyperlink to that meeting. That'll kind of like, for now, satisfy that link, cause there's no real update. So we don't need them to waste time at the moment.
That's right.
You know, and we can just satisfy for right now. We can use their meeting from the 9th, 6th.
Yeah, and not that there was a lot of update in that meeting, just that
Right.
there's a promise to work together to,
Yeah, so I mean, I think that should satisfy, you know, the request right now. There's nothing new. You know, and then that would satisfy everything.
Can we, I have a question, can you do it in
I
a certain position?
don't know, I have to work on that.
Because he wasn't at the beginning of the meeting, he kind of came in we'd have to kind of isolate that thing.
Yeah.
We could try it.
I mean, even if there's just
Just
that
put the
big
link to
portion
the
of.
meeting itself.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
To the YouTube meeting?
So
To
how
the
do you-
YouTube meeting,
what?
just whatever.
Yeah, just do the same link that's on the Carver Water website.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
And then
copy and paste the same thing and just throw it in ours and just say, hey, this
Exactly.
is the link to the meeting if you wanna look at it.
To-
I don't
to
know if
see-
I need edit access to get that link though.
I mean, how long was
Oh.
their meeting? Do you know how long their meeting was? Do you remember?
It was an hour and a half.
It was an hour and a
Right.
half, but you only need that small part where George actually was talking directly.
And if they had that video posted itself, we could probably just snip that.
Yeah.
Well, you were, you know, for the camera, I was gonna say the cameraman, I know. But if we could probably just snag that snippet.
Yeah,
And
we
then-
I
tried.
couldn't, I have the minutes for it, but they're not approved yet, so I can't put that
Right.
in
Can't
here.
reduce it, yeah.
But we could probably figure that out at some point. I mean,
And I think if you just post it, because if you really want, you could zip through the thing until you found it.
Yeah,
It would take you like 8 seconds to go through
Yeah.
and fast forward through it.
If you
anyone
could-
who's savvy enough, we could just.
If you
it
could
to-
do that, you could do that ahead of time and just call it a day, or do you want to continue to do that? That's fine with me.
This way just satisfies, you know, instead of
Yeah.
having to do that this way. Anyway, we could just say, you know, take a look at, even here, just say, take a look at that,
Okay.
and then bam, you can be satisfied with their updates.
Okay, so, as far as George, I did watch it, and George says that he's willing to begin working with the town, and he just is concerned about what it's going to cost to straighten things out, and what he needs to get done. Another thing is, let's see, he talked about a grant, that he's willing to work through that. He talked about a water tower, and he needs to talk, I think about $1 million he was talking about
For the water
for
tower.
the water tower. And he was talking about a grant, writing a grant. And he was talking about working more closely with the town about the water and what their opinions were and so forth and so on.
Did you mention anything about timelines?
He did say that he's working with the group of people that he told us about, and he's still on for April. Bob told him that they're going to have an RFP out this week, I believe, for an engineering study. And that engineering study hopefully will hopefully get completed, whatever it takes, if, in July. It's gonna miss that target of April
Yeah.
for, yeah, but,
Are there any other projects that are coming down the, I mean, would the town manager or anybody else know what other projects are coming down the, or in the pipeline for the coming year or two that might benefit assisting in the procurement of this water tower? So that this way, I mean, if there are a couple big projects coming down the road, properties going in, developments coming down the road that have got, you know, are coming down the road that might need water, it might benefit that if, you know, we can all work those projects into this bundle and then tap into those revenues and say, you know, hey, he needs $1 million, but 2 years down the road, these guys are already building this development. Let's tap into that and tap into a few of the developers and say, you're gonna need water anyway. Let's see if we can, you know, let's work something out
right.
and figure out, like, maybe if you can chip in and you can chip in and you can chip in, then we have a pile of money over here and talk to investors that might help us get further down the road.
Right.
And it might be able to snowball into something that somebody will be able to work with us.
I think part of the thing you'll have to find out though is that whoever these tenants are that he has, that'll kind of be the linchpin to getting other people to be involved. Because, you know, it's like retailers, they flock to the, you know, when somebody goes, when you get a bell cow retailer to go somewhere, people follow.
Right.
And you need kind of somebody's name on the door in that area, it's just my opinion, but you need somebody's kind of name on the door to say, all right, this guy's building, what are you talking about, 700,000 square feet of storage space. And here's the tenant, it's gonna be the start anyway, or 3 tenants, whatever it is. I think that's what will attract other people to come and say, all right, this is real.
Well, of course that, but I was just
Yeah.
saying, you know, anything else that's going on in town, I mean, you know, we need water here. If anything else is going on in that same area of town, not just that part, but we need water, right? They need a water tower.
Well, at this point, North Carver Water only extends to the Route 44 and 58 intersection. It doesn't, you know, it's a lot of money to make that extension. If someone does come in, like you say, with deep pockets and is willing to lay down the pipes, you know, you're talking, they would extend it. They were hoping that when, on the hill there, the property we sold, you remember that property sold? Well, there's all those little special things, and right in the middle, there's 2 acres now, where the guy's putting something. They were hoping that that was going to extend the water, but those people were not interested in it, so that didn't happen. They would have had to come up with 100,000, and of course, that wasn't gonna happen, so, not the town, but the developers, so that didn't happen. But George is willing to come in. I don't know when he will come in. That would be the question I would ask. When is he gonna come in and speak more directly with the town? So, like, he's very sick with COVID, so he's not willing to wanna take, I imagine it's gonna take a while for him to get rid of
He can
that.
come by Zoom.
Yeah,
sometimes.
we can do a Zoom one, yeah. I don't know, do you wanna see him next month or something, or do you, I don't know, what, you wanna wait until after the first of the year? What is, you know, what is your interest?
Do you think something's gonna change in the next month?
That's where I was gonna go, I don't know what's really, I think the key is getting to work on that water district.
The
for us.
engineering.
Yeah, I don't
side,
know that it matters so much on who's gonna build over there, but it's really coming up with what are we gonna build and how's it gonna be distributed, because frankly, he's gonna be kinda waiting on us.
Yeah,
To talk to him about what he's gonna build, we already know, 700,000 square feet of storage space, and he's gonna break it up into 2 or 3 different tenants. Okay, well, we gotta get him water.
that's
So,
right.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, I'm not saying I know he's willing to help us pay for it, but we're the ones who have to come up with a plan, cause it's a town.
So I mean, you're shut down anyway. This is gonna, a
What's
lot
up?
of things are gonna slow down at the end of the year anyway, so what's gonna
Yeah,
change
I
by
don't
the end of
think,
November,
yeah, I
December?
think it's really up to us as
Go
far
into
as
January anyway.
pushing the ball forward, that it is really him, because he's really, there's only so far he's gonna go with drawings and everything anyway, because until he has an idea of what services and everything are gonna be there, then he's gonna kind of be stuck, because you can't market something without water.
That's
I
true.
mean, that'll slow him down in a heartbeat.
Yes. I have been not on a regular basis, but I call Bob. I also was very interested at that audit, and there's a couple of things I'm gonna look into. He has a budget, it's a very large budget, it's gonna be important that the town accepts it, otherwise it's not gonna go anywhere. So, like I say, we're not negotiators, we're facilitators, so it's up to us to kind of keep that path going, so we can,
I think that's our biggest role here, is to push along the town to get this water study done and to figure out what we can do to help this guy go and develop. Because that's
That's
what's gonna increase our tax base, and it's gonna help out the town, and also make it more marketable, more viable for other people to
That's
come
right.
to.
that's
So it's
exactly.
kind of on us, really.
Yeah, that's right. Now, I don't know if you remember I read through that engineering study that I told you, the one that they had submitted. At 2.16, that particular category, and under 2.16, I remember that, it said that they were expectation, was the engineering people, and George had put in that part, because remember, George and his son had input into that engineering grant, and he put in that they expected 1,500 jobs, and they were gonna bring back to the town on an annual basis $5 million. So that's a projection, and so I don't think, I guess the question I would have asked Bob, if that was a Hillwood projection, when Hillwood was here, I don't remember the
That would
expectation.
probably be more them than, wasn't that like 2 million square feet?
Yeah, 1.5, and they had another, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, if that was 2 million square feet, that's more along the lines of.
You know, I hate to tell you this, well, I'm glad I'm gonna tell you this, I don't know anything, but Hillwood could come back into us, and he could get the rest of that, and that would make that all happen very nice.
Well,
Because there's only two, supposedly, there's 4 parcels, one of those parcels is what, is quite a, what is it, 100?
but I think his deal's probably gone away.
It's the Titanic.
His deal, yeah, his deal's gone away.
Well,
so-
he'd have to come in and renew and think about it.
I'm more talking about who he's gonna have to occupy it. I think that's the issue for him, because if he still had to deal with somebody, he would've built it somewhere. Even if we couldn't help him, he would've found somewhere within a 10-mile radius and figured out how to do it.
Yeah, well, he closed Middleborough, so he didn't have that either.
That's what I'm saying, so that's, I think the deal went away, and we just kinda need to move forward.
We can just go forward, no problem. But anyway, so we'll keep George on the list. We're not ready for him yet, but a good idea is to bring that piece of the North Carver Water District in, and so we guys, either you watch it on your own,
Yeah,
or
we gotta be
we
on
bring it in, one of the
So
two.
now watch it.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Yeah. I think I'm more concerned on where we're gonna go, or what we're gonna do about finding money, or, finding out more about this, this was more denied, and why we didn't get it, that's more of the concern.
Well,
because
according to
that's-
Tom, that'll happen next week, they're making that meeting, did you see it?
Yeah, that's more but that's what I'm saying, that's more the
That's
thing
what
I'd
we
like to
need to know.
revisit.
Oh, yeah,
Exactly, that's
exactly.
more
Is it
where,
just a procedural thing that we filled something out wrong, or is it just like they're not giving us the money?
exactly,
You're right.
that's more something I'd like to follow up on.
We'll
when-
definitely be
let's
back
get
on the menu.
Right, back on,
On the menu, yeah, on the agenda, no problem there,
I
and,
didn't say that earlier, but that, after talking about these other guys, I'd rather get back to that.
Yeah.
Before, but.
and because Tom Bott's involved, I'll have Tom Bott come in and ask him to come in and
Sure.
talk, and give it to us.
Or at least an email, like, if he doesn't wanna come in
Well,
and
Tom
talk.
said that he's very open about it. Tonight he had, as his email said, he has 2 meetings, not only the planning board, but a finance committee.
Right.
If it's just the planning board, that starts at 7, so that, we start at 6:30, so he's willing to come in and give us a little bit of his time.
Right.
That's not a problem. So,
But I mean, he's got 2 meetings, 3 meetings. If he can
right,
spend
next
5
time, he'll
minutes-
definitely do that for us, he'll
If
definitely.
it's a 5-minute, and he can spit it out in 5 minutes, or if it's like an email he can lay out that we can chum on
True.
and chew on for help figure that out.
Right.
Whatever works better for him. I mean,
Or
the
if
guy's
he's making
super
that
busy.
same presentation to somebody else between now and, like, if he's going to the planning board, or if he's going to the board of selectmen or something to talk about it.
We go.
Yeah, we can just go,
Go
watch
watch
it
it.
online.
Yeah.
It's their
Yeah.
video, right?
Yeah,
And,
we can
attach
do
it.
that, we can
If
do
it don't.
that, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so we don't really need George and them at this
No.
point here, so we'll set that aside.
Minutes.
The minutes, yes, the minutes.
I didn't see anything wrong. Did you?
I did want you to, before we get into the minutes, under the member notes, that's not on here, but I had written, let me just say this, you have this printout. Did Jill put it in with a packet?
Remediation?
The one from Sarah Hewins?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I wrote to Sarah Hewins, if you look at the very last page I wrote to her, I was concerned and I had some questions, because what I'm trying to do is realize that the North Carver Water District, and I've been in this town for 52 years, so we had a lot of conversation about starting up the North Carver Water District, starting up, making growth happen on 44 and 50 inches, all in there, 44 and 50. And with town meeting, and I asked her specifically if she could come back and fill in some of the questions that I had asked, which she did. And it's quite lengthy, but it gives you a good history of what went on and how it all started. And so I'm not going into it, but it's here for your understanding. Sarah said that if we wanted her to come and explain anything, she could do that also at another time or at another meeting we had. But for the most part, she answered everything I wanted her to answer. She says here, this may be too much information for this email, but I can find that more information is better as time passes. People tend to forget some of our town's history, both past and relatively recent. She said, and I asked her about, she's a grant writer. We don't really have one in our town, but she is a grant writer. And when you read the emails that she sent, she initiated these grants, $500,000, two $500,000 grants that she's responsible for the start of and buying of the coal property as well.
But she didn't suggest any that might help us at this current
Well,
point moving
this
forward.
is not specifically for that, she could, but if you, this last page, or near the last page, I had asked her about grant writing,
Yep.
and she says, to answer your second question,
Yeah.
I'd be happy to inquire from the State Ethics Commission as to whether, as a select board member, I could write another grant for the RDA, the North Carver Water District, or the town's water commissioner and or select board to address the current water situation on the coal property. So I believe it's worth following up.
Of course.
Worth following up, because we don't have a grant writer. And I thought I would, after this meeting, I would ask her just to get that clarification, to let us know. And if it's a go, maybe she can also recommend some grants for the water commissioner to go for. They're gonna need the money.
Bob, known that?
Yeah, okay.
Wouldn't Bob have known that to look at that?
Excuse me?
Bob was a member of the RD at that time though, wouldn't he have known that though, to look into that?
No,
No?
Bob, this here happened in 2006.
Oh, I thought he was
All
a
of
member.
this.
Oh, okay. No, he was then?
No, Bob, I don't know how long Bob's been.
He
here.
wasn't part of the original board.
Oh, no,
okay.
no, the
Okay.
original board. That was 2008, I think, after all this happened, 2008. I believe that's when they established the North Carver Water District. Anyway, that's for you to read and to get understanding of what's going on here, to get a better understanding. And the minutes, did you read the minutes? I read the minutes. Are there any corrections?
I didn't see
Good.
that. Yeah, oh, good.
Sue does a good job. You know Sue Hannon? Yeah. You know Sue Hannon?
Yeah, I didn't see no issues. I thought I did more speaking though, but.
Whole lot of
Woods.
Well, I will take a vote if you have any,
Do you need a motion to accept the minutes?
do I need a second?
Second?
Any further discussion? Being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. It's been approved. I guess I can pay you now, Susan.
Pay her now.
Well, I owed her from the last meeting we had,
Yeah.
that I hadn't written out the check, so I came in early today
Oh,
to give her the
Alright.
check,
so we need a date for,
So we need a date for
Oops.
the next time.
So we're looking at, what are we looking at, the 10th, 17th?
It would, yeah, the second Tuesday, it would,
10.
let me get my calendar here.
That would be the 10th.
yep, that's December 10th. No, I'm thinking of December 7th, right? That's Pearl Harbor Day.
Yeah.
That's Saturday.
So the next, second Tuesday is the 10th.
Works for me.
Work for you? How about you?
Sounds good.
Okay, so. It'll be at 6:30, and I have to think Savory's coming home. We'll
If
see.
not, he's not coming home after that because we snowed in. Stuck in Canada
Oh
for,
my God.
where did he go in Canada?
He went different parts,
Well,
different parts.
It's got
This
super
one here
expensive up there. I don't know how he's staying up there so long. It's gotten like wicked
Well,
expensive.
he's with friends, so he could be staying with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe he's moving from house to house or something like that.
Whatever. Or
Good
some
for
kind
him.
of, could be festivals up there, you know how that goes.
Motion to adjourn?
Oh, we need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
It's 7:05,
7:08.
I'm sorry, 7:08.
Perfect.
7:08 adjournment. I have a second?
Second?
You second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, we are adjourned. Thank you very much, guys.
Thanks.